Hai and salam sejahtera. I am Najah Safia binti Aman from SMK Writing, and today I'll be giving you my humble book review. I will be reviewing a book entitled Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. Also, a little bit about Stacey Lee. She is an American author of young adult fiction best known for Under a Painted Sky and Outrun the Moon. Her works tend to be contemporary and historical fiction. It is very blatantly obvious that Luck of the Titanic has a really nice and interesting book cover, which really attracted me to read it in the first place. In my opinion, first impressions are really important. You know how the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm sorry, I am that type of person. I do judge a book by its cover. I will now be reading the synopsis or summary for Luck of the Titanic. Valora Luck has two things: a ticket for the biggest and most luxurious ocean liner in the world, and a dream of leaving England behind and making a life for herself as a circus performer in New York. Much to her surprise though, she's turned away at the gangway. Apparently, Chinese people aren't allowed into America. But Val has to get on that ship. Her twin brother Jamie, who has spent 2 long years at sea, is on board, as is an influential circus owner. Thankfully, there's not much of a trained acrobat like Val can overcome when she puts her mind into it. As a stowaway, Val has to keep her head low and stay out of sight, but the clock is ticking and she just has 7 days as the ship makes its way across the Atlantic to find Jamie, audition for the circus owner, and convince him to help get them both into America. Then, one night, the unthinkable happens, and suddenly Val's dream of a new life are crushed under the weight of the only thing that matters: survival. Moving on to my interpretation of Luck of the Titanic summary. Luck of the Titanic is a story of twins Valora Luck and Jamie Luck. As children of an English mother and a Chinese father, they've always straddled two worlds and rarely fit in it comfortably anywhere. With nothing to keep her in London anymore, Valora stows away aboard the Titanic, where Jamie's been hired to stroke the boilers. To avoid being discovered and sent back to London, she disguises herself as both a wealthy white lady in the first class and as one of the Chinese boys who work in the ship's boilers rooms below decks. Valora hopes to convince Jamie to stay with her once they reach New York and continue their career as an acrobatic duo in America. But Jamie's made a good life for himself at sea, and he doesn't want to move to America or be an acrobat anymore. Valora's got just about a week to change Jamie's mind and arrange the audition with the head of the Honker wrangling boss, who Valora discovers to happen to be on board. But as we know, while Val moves in between two worlds to make her dreams come true, fate has other plans. One of my many interesting opinions is that Stacey Lee brings a really intriguing Asian perspective to one of the world's most famous shipwrecks, bringing it to life with humor, drama, heartbreak and hope. Many readers will be surprised to learn that there were really 8 Chinese people aboard the doomed ship, overlooked and unreported by the Western media and analysis. The racism and discrimination experienced by the Chinese characters aren't glossed over, but it also doesn't overwhelm the sums of adventure, possibility, and sometimes even the sheer fun of voyage. There's a large cast of colorful characters, and the main ones develop well as we learn about them and their background. But some drift in and out over extended periods and cause some confusion about which is which until the book is well underway. The ending is pretty abrupt and doesn't provide much sense of closure that could be provided if we knew what became more of the characters. But also it's very moving, and I recommend you to keep a tissue in handy when you get there. Luck of the Titanic is a stunning suspenseful masterpiece, directly addressing the racism not only on the Titanic but also in the US with the Chinese Exclusion Act. And obviously the storyline is really emotional, but based on the genre, Stacey Lee delivers a setting that makes the gilded halls and freezing waters come alive. A little rundown on what is the Chinese Exclusion Act. The Chinese Exclusion Act was a United States federal law signed by President Chester A. Arthur on May 6, 1882, prohibiting all immigrations of Chinese laborers. Overall, the ways the frozen waters tell a story about who gets to survive and who doesn't, who society and people believe are worthy, and all these elements come together to form a book perfect like a storm. It will sweep into your heart, and like truly any amazing book will leave you a little bit different after the last page. Also dissatisfactory to have Chinese representation in popular and mainstream books truly give a lot of joy in my heart, as the pride and joy of your culture and beliefs being represented in mainstream media and literature. The feeling of pride is truly unmatched. And that concludes all for my book review for you today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. I love talking about things I am passionate about, and I hope you all have a lovely day. And once again, my name is Najah Safia binti Aman, and goodbye.